Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, all in crypto here, and welcome back, guys, for another YouTube video. Today, we have a jam-packed daily cryptocurrency market update for you. We are going to be covering the important event of today, which, of course, is non-farm payroll. Doing a little bit of speculation on it. This video will be coming out half an hour before the actual non-farm payroll results are revealed. We're going to be talking a little bit about how we've seen a massive revision down for the past two quarters, the first quarter of 2023 and, of course, the last quarter of 2022. In regard to the non-farm payroll, the non-farm payroll number is Jerome Powell's backing for rate hikes. And actually, there's a little bit of questioning being raised in regards to how accurate those non-farm payroll numbers are. Yesterday, we did have some early job data leading into non-farm today, which may suggest non-farm may come out quite hot. We had ADPs, which we'll look at. We're going to be talking about JP Morgan's $45,000 Bitcoin price prediction as they think gold is going to break out. We think gold, silver, the stock market, everything is going to break out despite all the bearish rhetoric. Now, we were one of the biggest bears in the room last year, and we flipped neutral really going into January 2023, and of course have been long and strong cryptocurrency market ever since. And the bulk of what we think is to come hasn't already came, so the opportunity is very much still at hand. We're going to be talking about miners because miners are a big sell pressure for Bitcoin. Yesterday, it didn't really make a great deal of sense that Bitcoin was down when we had gold up, the dollar down, and of course the stock market up. So we have a ram-jammed video for you. And we're going to be getting into it all. Before I start the video, guys, if I can ask you to do me a massive favor, leave this video a like, a comment, and share it on your social medias to promote this valuable content to the masses. Let's get into the video without any further ado. So, oops, I've accidentally brought up a picture of the most, the most powerful, supposedly, man in the world, Joe Biden, the president of the most powerful country in the world, falling over yet again. Americans, it really is time to question a number of things. And also, I do believe, and we've always said this, that presidents typically are just puppets for a greater agenda. He has been one of the greatest advertisement campaigns for that. So, correcting that, let's get rid of it and let's take a look at the chart. So you guys know that we believe everything is going to break out to the upside. Right now, you've had Bitcoin run into its 30K, which we predicted on this channel, ultimately getting in long on the 5th of January, which was down here with altcoins. We do have some altcoins that are slightly underwater, but ultimately, these are investment pot altcoins that we have done our due diligence in and ultimately think are going to do well in the longer term time horizon. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an opportunity in the crypto space that you do not have anywhere else right now. Barring, even to the degree I don't think anywhere else right now. You are looking a gift house in the mouth if you are being disgruntled or feel some type of way negatively towards the crypto space right now, because the cryptocurrency space has already changed my life and it's going to do the same thing for you. So we've got Bitcoin round about this sort of 30K range that it's rejected off. We ultimately do think it's going to find its feet, take 30K, and once it takes 30K, you are going to see some pretty significant upside. We do have a non-log target for this inverse head and shoulders of around about 34,000, and then of course a log target of just over 40,000. Very interesting today that JP Morgan says Bitcoin price could reach 45,000 due to rising gold prices. Now, JP Morgan have been quite bearish. Jamie Dimon has been worried. However, we did look at some comments from Jamie Dimon, him talking about how you should prepare for more rate hikes, but he's kind of expecting a pause. Now, we've expected a pause for 2 months now since they did the prior. Where we've got that from is looking at the 2-year yield, which leads the Fed's funds, and, of course, looking at inflation and looking at a jobs market that we do think is going to be coming out weaker. So not only do you have Bitcoin on the precipice of a breakout, you also have the likes of gold. So gold essentially broke what we're calling a bull flag. It came back to retest the flag and is ultimately, in my opinion, set for more upside. You do have all-time highs ahead of you. Now, that means blue skies. Now, blue skies are great. This is actually when you've had your first gold ETF, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in America. Australia came out in 2013, but certainly in America, Spider was in charge of that. Anyway, we ultimately expect gold to do rather well. Bitcoin, I do think, is going to do well. Gold was up yesterday. The dollar was down. Non-farm payroll is going to be very, very important. We do have a number of longs that we placed yesterday within the cryptocurrency market, and of course, from an investment point of view, are long. So not only do you have gold on the cusp of a breakout, you have the stock market, which the amount of people that have told me I'm wrong on the stock market and it's only gone to spit in their face, this is strong buying candles coming in for the stock market here. You have indeed taken out this resistance, and we do actually think there's a good chance the S&P is going to see new all-time highs under the context of sideways rates, which has historically, certainly the last 3 times, 20 plus years of history, given the stock market a pretty good run. We think the same thing is going to commence. Look at the NASDAQ. So many people shorting this. We did think it was a good area to short here if you were looking to short-term trade, but have also said that that's not something we're willing to take because you're against the larger trend. Again, NASDAQ running into resistance, looking for that breakout. Look at the likes of Apple, ladies and gentlemen. Apple on the precipice of new all-time highs. Everything is going to break out, and you're bearish. And we've looked at the charts, and we've said, look, for the past 6+ months, you've been bearish, and has it paid you to certain individuals that are still bearish? If you're bearish for long enough, you'll eventually be right. The trick is to capture the market and be on the right side of the trend, and that's what we try and do on this channel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is the time to accumulate cryptocurrencies. If you want to find out what we're buying and where we're buying it, please do consider joining the Patreon. It is well and truly worth it. You get weekly meetings with me. And ultimately, you get to join a community that is very crypto-focused. And if nothing else, you get a lot of peace of mind. I've seen lots of people getting thrown around with this price action. Certainly here, I had lots of people turning on me, only for it to have been the right decision. I will do my best, ladies and gentlemen, to lead you to the promised land. So everything looks like it is going to break out. Things look pretty darn good. And on the macro landscape, of course, we looked at the debt ceiling. Still a bit of an issue with the fact that the Treasury is going to replenish their dwindling in order to get the debt ceiling past cash reserves. However, lots of people comparing this to 2000. Lots of macro economists. I mean, that word doesn't really mean a lot nowadays because everyone's a macro economist. Talking about, oh, well, this might cause a 2019 kind of issue. Well, the reality is, if you look at the repo market, and they're referring to the repo market, 2019, it was very low. Today, it's at 2.4 trillion. Even if the Treasury needs to get $1 trillion out of it, something they can do. It is a liquidity drain, but we'll see how it impacts us. Breaking the Senate passes a debt ceiling legislation, advertising US defaults, ending a drama that threatens a global financial crisis. This is how low some people will stoop in order to try and fill their bias. The fact that people were actually saying that they thought there was a good chance of the US defaulting on their debt and this was bearish for the markets. What are you going to do? Hold dollars? It's bearish for the dollar, mate, if you're going to be in the dollar, because ultimately, if the US defaulted on its debt, it calls into question the entire dollar and US system. You really think they're going to do that over just upping the debt ceiling, which they have done every single time? They're talking tough. They put in 0.2% cuts. They're doing a good job there, aren't they? Look at the interest rate payments. So, everything is on the precipice of breaking out. We think you are well positioned if you've been following this channel. Certainly even better positioned if you're a part of the Patreon. Link in the description. Today, we have the non-farm payroll. Now, the non-farm payroll, of course, is what Jerome Powell has used to give him the backing to continue to do rate hikes. There's a lot of revision by the BLS in regards to the labour market. And it's actually got it a lot lower. This is Q1 2023. Then they've given the stats. And this is Q4 2022. Massive decline in data since Q4 2022. Remember all those articles about strong jobs and wage? Are they why the Fed has been raising rates? It was all fake. The BLS revision shows a massive decline. Indeed, and yesterday we had the ADP stats. Where are we? US. ADP non-farm employment changes. So they had estimates at 173,000, and it came out a whole 100,000+ more. Oh my goodness. And then look, this is the revised non-farm payrolls. They have it coming down actually, and massively revised down. You know, this is what it was, 6.2, and they've now got it at 4.2. And today we've got, of course, non-farm payroll. Now, non-farm payroll is important because it all factors into the next hike. Now, we've maintained the fact that we don't think they're going to continue hiking. We don't see a reason for them to do that. They're above neutral. They're in regressive, negative territory. And ultimately, we don't see a reason to do so. Now, this was massively against us. It's now moving back into our favor. And the probability is 76.1% that they don't do another hike. What happens when rates go sideways? Please go and look at that. People just ignore that. I don't know why. And look at where the market is currently positioned. Subscribe to the channel, guys. We will help you. Not that some of you need help. Some of you are just here because you want to hear the daily news and stay up to date with things, the crypto markets and the other markets around it. But this is one of the most genuine, valuable channels that I think there is in the crypto space right now. I genuinely do believe that. We get told that all the time. Maybe it's a bit like the Emperor's New Clothes, perhaps. But please do subscribe to the channel, guys. Leave us a like, a comment. You know, when you compare this crypto channel to other and it is a crypto specific channel, to other channels out there, you do not get this 360 analysis pretty much anywhere else. There's a few individuals that we think very highly of, like Mr. Francis Hunt, the market sniper, who I've learned a hell of a lot from. But it's very lackluster, the kind of caliber of individuals on the YouTube scene. So this is taking place today. This video is going to come out half an hour after. I've got a few interviews that I'm doing. We're going to get back to interviewing crypto projects. We have interviewed some of the biggest names in the crypto space. We don't get a lot of recognition for that. We are starting podcasts and everything to really help push that and promote that. But we've got plenty more coming. The work is never done in regards to educating people about this informative and just exciting and expansive space. You know, the blockchain industry is going to take over the world, ladies and gentlemen. It already is. We're already seeing all big major institutions, governments, so on and so forth, move towards it. And you get to be an investor in an early technology. You've got the likes of Gensler dragging his heels because this is one of the first tech revolutions that retail's actually got in first. And he's trying to, you know, pull the brakes on that, let his boys get in, and then ultimately he'll let this thing fly. Just like Biden falling over and really proving to everyone that these guys are just complete puppets. I mean, do you know, it upsets me. The United States, the greatest country in the world, economically, the biggest powerhouse. And that's what you've got. Wake up. And let's not even go into, you know, a different Biden and all the stuff that's coming out there. But anyway, the reason I bring these things up and they kind of almost splurge out is because I'm passionate, guys, that people need to wake up to what's going on the kind of global scale. And actually, financially, a lot of the answers to things are there. Finance or economics and politics are not that far apart. So talking about sell pressure, the Wolf actually did, new to this individual's Twitter, but he actually did a pretty good talk about wondering why there's constantly large deposits and dumping on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and essentially attributes it to miners and attributes it to the US bill, and in regards to them looking to essentially, you know, tax crypto and the mining industry and actually ordinals, and there being a lot of active sellers with miners. Miner position index actively selling. You can see pretty aggressive. Despite that, what's the price doing? The price, and take this with you guys, does not just go up on hope alone. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this content. If you have a like, it's always appreciated. So as a comment, please do consider checking out the Patreon in the description. Try it out for a month. If it's not for you, it's not for you. See you all in the next one. Let's see what non-farm brings. And then, of course, we're going to be bringing you some pretty good updates over the weekend. We've got interviews and all sorts to come out next week. And also, please go and check out the altcoin that we took a long position in, that we made a video on yesterday on YouTube. It is, of course, Litecoin. We're not a fan of Litecoin as a project, but technically we think it's going to do quite well in the short term. That's not a call to buy. Go and watch that video to find out what we were talking about and why we are long it currently. All I've got for you in this video, guys. If you've enjoyed the content, like us, appreciate it, so as a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next.